Hello, everyone. The Y'all Always Go On crew here. 5 days, fresh off of Symphony of the Seas, the world's largest cruise ship. That was our first foray into the Royal Caribbean cruise line. Part of the reason we booked the cruise was because, being an agent, I wanted to be able to give people an actual personal account of our experience with Royal Caribbean and not something we heard from someone else. And you can't do that if you've never been on a Royal Caribbean cruise. So since we've been back, people have been saying, so, hey, are y'all converted? What was the difference? Did you like it better? Are y'all still Carnival people? So we decided to do a short video about what we liked, what we didn't like, and then whether or not we're converts. So first thing is, largest cruise ship in the world. What did you think of the ship?
I really liked it. What I really liked was the Central Park. Park was really pretty. It was kind of like being in New York. Very open. The other thing that I really liked was Boardwalk. Boardwalk was absolutely amazing. I liked the carousel that was there. And then they had a candy land over there. And then they had another bar and arcade. And I just thought it was really cool. Everything was really open. So that was actually my favorite part of the ship, which is that it was very open.
Yeah. You could stand on Central Park, which was deck 8, and just look up and be inside the ship but see the sky. And at night, they just had it beautifully lit. And it was definitely different. And then we saw some of the interior facing balconies that they advertised, and thought to ourselves, we wouldn't want that because we want to sit across our balcony and be able to see something else. But some of them looked intriguing once you actually got on the ship. And you remember that night we were at Jamie's, and you could hear the guy playing the guitar while we were sitting here at Jamie's Italian restaurant, one of the specialty dining establishments here in Central Park. It's pretty cool. Got the little guitar player out here and the people walking by. There's our waitress.
That you guys have, believe it or not, that's what's
yeah, pretty cool to be on your balcony and be able to experience that. And we couldn't from ours because all we had was the Great Blue Yonder.
But what was cool about that was when we looked up at the couples that had the balconies and looked over Central Park, it was really neat to see. We're sitting there, we're having dinner, this guy's playing guitars, it was beautiful, and you look up and you see these couples that's sitting on their balconies with wine. It was
that
really
same
neat.
experience. Yeah. Pretty good. Okay, so definitely like the ship. Was there anything you didn't like or differences?
Okay, so my main gripe, and I did talk about this on my Facebook page, was I'm used to getting on the ship, and the first thing I do is grab everything that needs to be ironed. I go straight to the laundromat, and I do that. So on this Royal Caribbean cruise, or the ship rather, they did not have a laundromat. You had to basically turn in your clothes to them, and then you had to pay them a fee to do that. I just didn't like the inconvenience of if I needed to wash my own clothes, if I needed to iron something, now I'm basically forced to pay to get my linens pressed. I didn't like that.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where, like, had we gone Royal to begin with, we'd have been used to that, and maybe it wouldn't have been that big a deal. Maybe we'd have thought differently of Carnival. Man, you got to iron your own clothes on Carnival, which you don't have to. You have the option on Carnival, which I think is great. But I think by us starting out Carnival, and that's the way we did it, and we were always able to go in there and just knock the wrinkles out of our clothes real quick, it really made the whole experience of paying $4 for them not to even wash, just to press a shirt, seemed kind of ridiculous. But we had to do what we had to do. And if y'all saw any of the videos, it ended up working out.
It did.
We were kind of cool. All right. One of my biggest gripes with taking, especially my 16-year-old and my 8-year-old, was the lack of communication. Again, we're Carnival people. We don't mean to sound biased, but when you've been on 7 Carnival cruises, that's what you get used to. And with Carnival, all of their ships have access to the Carnival Hub app. And with that app, you can pay $5 for the entire cruise and use your cell phone to text other people through the app. And so we would just pay $5 per phone and be able to communicate, hey, meet us here, come here, be in the room by this amount. Hey, we're doing dinner here tonight. And we ended up on this Royal Caribbean ship, ended up having to pay for the internet package. The big one, it was like $114 for a 7-day cruise.
Hard time sharing.
And yeah, so we like each had to log in, and when you log in, you boot out the person that's in. So what we ended up doing was telling our son, hey, every 30 minutes log in and check to see if there's an email from us. And so we would send it, if we sent him an email at 7:35, we knew he wasn't going to see it at 8 o'clock. So there's like kind of a 25-minute lag between when he logged in again and see it. And we thought about two-way radios, but once the cruise was over, we figured we weren't going to use them again. And since we don't know when the next Royal Caribbean cruise is going to be, we just figured, we wouldn't use them outside of that. So we just managed for this particular cruise, and then, our next one's going to be Carnival, where our app would work. Now, I did do some research, and there's a Royal IQ app that a Royal Caribbean has, but the problem is it's only available on 4 ships: the Quantum, the Anthem, the Ovation, and the Harmony of the Seas. The problem I had with that is generally you would think your newest technology would be in your latest vessel, and it wasn't. The Symphony of the Seas is Royal Caribbean's newest and flagship, so to speak, and that technology was not available, but it is on the Harmony, which is a sister ship in the ship they had previous to the Symphony. So I thought that was kind of weird that you wouldn't put that technology into into your newer ship. So is there anything you liked particularly about?
I did like that when you go to the cafeterias, they have a hand washing area, and I just thought it was really neat because, of course, a lot of people know that when you hear the news and it's about some type of sickness, norovirus or whatnot, on the news or whatnot, it's always the Royal Caribbean ship. So for me to walk around the ship and you see hand washing stations and you see the sanitizer stations, I just thought that was really cool because it kept everybody clean, it kept everybody conscious to keep your hands clean, don't touch things. I just thought that was really cool.
Yeah. And keeping in line with the food, another thing that I kind of had an issue with, it seemed that there was more specialty. I'm all for specialty restaurants. We've done the Italian restaurant on the Vista several times. Fahrenheit 555 is one of our favorite places to eat, and sometimes we'll pay to go twice on like a 7 or 8 day cruise. Yeah. But it seemed on this Royal Caribbean cruise that there was more specialty restaurants than there were regular places to just go eat that's included in your cruise fare. And then a lot of them were kind of hard to distinguish. I thought the Johnny Rockets would be the Royal Caribbean equivalent of like Guy's Burger Joint. You can just walk up whenever you want, get burgers and fries, and just walk off. But it was like an $11.95 fee per person just to go eat at Johnny Rockets. And then we ended up paying for this package that was there's 6 specialty restaurants, well actually more than that, but in this package there were 6 of them, and you got to choose 3 of the 6 for $100 a person, which, I think the steakhouse alone was like $48 or something like that. So you actually end up saving a little bit of money, and we ended up doing within that package we did Chops, Jamie's, and Wonderland,
which was my absolute favorite. I talked about this on my Instagram page and Facebook page. Wonderland is an experience. Now, if you were to ask me what was my favorite part of my Royal Caribbean cruise, it would be Wonderland. I ate everything that they gave me. I was sick. It was that good. The experience was just amazing, down to the detail of how it looks in there. They have next to the window Alice little figurine sitting there. I mean, everything down to the Mad Hatter walking around. And this guy did not break character. Even when he was talking to the other employees, he stayed in character. I just thought that it was amazing. So Wonderland, if you do go on this ship, please, 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 you have to experience it. It is absolutely amazing.
And so we ended up doing Wonderland. It was great. Loved it. Loved the presentation. The fact that you had to take your menu came in like a frame with some type of white tissue paper or something over it, and you had to actually put water on it and like paint it to be able to actually see it. And then
And start to reveal what's inside the magic ring.
Okay, so go here.
Yes, ma'am. Shall I start with your ice water, bottled water, or would you like?
Ice water's
Ice
fine.
water's fine.
Oh, yeah, there it is, showing up.
Thank you, everyone.
And it went from being all white, where you couldn't see, to now there's a full-fledged menu.
all the meals were very, or all the food was very imaginative. So they all had like a story behind it, and you ate from a couple different categories, and they explained what everything was, and it was a great experience. And we, outside of the package, we ended up doing the hibachi,
Which was really cool. The kids really enjoyed that, and honestly, to me, that was the best hibachi I ever had.
Yeah, that was pretty good. It was like having a Benihana's on the ship, and so that was pretty cool. We took a picture with the mascot of the restaurant as we left, and I'll post that here. And then what else? Oh, we did Hooked.
We did Hooked, which was cool because we're hooked eating at Hooked.
And that was interesting because we actually found out that's the only ship that has that restaurant. Even the Harmony, which is the ship that preceded the Symphony, doesn't have it. But the waiter did say there will be a Hooked on the Spectrum of the Seas when it starts sailing. So we actually only ended up going to the main dining room one night, which was the captain's dinner. Every other night we paid for some extra specialty dining, which ended up working out. But I wish there was more places at like noon to just walk up and get, something to eat outside of the Windjammer.
Gorgeous pizza.
There was the Solarium Bistro, the Windjammer, Cafe Promenade, and then the pizza place. And Cafe Promenade is not really my cup of tea. It was kind of like all healthy food, and I don't go on a cruise to be healthy, so I just walk right by it. I'm not eating bagels for breakfast. I eat bacon. And so that wasn't really, it was a place to eat that was included, but I didn't count it because I didn't eat anything in there. So, you got 6, 7, 8, 9 specialty restaurants, and then, maybe 4 or 5 places to go just, pick up a hot dog or something like that. So I thought that was kind of, now I see why people say it's more expensive. I don't feel like our rooms were any more expensive, but I don't know if it's because we, buy kind of higher tiered rooms, so the price for us seemed about the same as what we paid when we go on Carnival. But they did get money out of you in other ways. It seemed like I said, you had to pay for. You didn't have to, but wanted to eat the better food, so we paid for a lot more specialty dining than we do on Carnival, and the whole thing with the laundry.
Very inconvenient.
Yeah, and I mean they gave us halfway through a bag that said you can stuff as much stuff in here as you can and seal it up, and you could get it for $24. But we could go on a Carnival cruise and put twice as much stuff in that bag and pay, $1.75 for the washer and $1.75 or $2, whatever it was for the dryer, and get twice as much stuff washed. Granted you have to do it yourself, but 7-8 day cruise, you have one day where you can spend an hour, getting your clothes washed.
You spent $60 in laundry.
Just in laundry. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Anything else we're forgetting?
Not that I.
Yeah, I'll post. I may fit it in right here. The rooms, because I did sort of a tour of the boys' room. They had an interior room, and then our room was a balcony room. So I'll get insert the walkthrough of those.
For the beautiful symphony.
So this is the boys'
At
room.
this time, we would like to inform you that your stateroom are not.
Bathroom. Nice big walk-in shower. Toilet. Tiny little sink. Safe. Closet. TV. They got an interior room, so there's really not a whole lot to it. Let's see. Yep, and they got a fridge. And the fridge has a lock on it, which is pretty cool. Alright, that's that. So I'm gonna do this little video to show you the distance from our room to the boys' room. This was about as close as I could get. Would have been nice if they were directly across the hall. But there they are in 12,553, and we are 12,570. So it's not really far. It wasn't as close as it looked because of all the the little entryway there to get to the elevators, and then there's some a couple doors that are like staff only. So when you say they're technically 4 doors down, 4 room doors, but that's actually a little bit longer. We're 570, so they're just down that way. Not super far, but not as close as I thought it was. This is the mama and the dada room. Basically, the bathroom's the same. Shower, closet with a safe, a little extra storage. It basically seems like it's the same exact room, except we have a balcony and they don't, which is not uncharacteristic. They generally make these things in like little Legos and then knock out the differences between the 2 rooms. Imagine we got the same refrigerator, yep, a little extra storage, and a balcony. Small, but it's a balcony. It's not quite that Havana patio, but it's nice. So there's
that was about it.
There was one more thing.
Oh,
The fact that we didn't even know who our cruise director was.
oh yeah. It's weird. It's okay. So they and if you look at the other video, sort of the trailer video of our trip, I posted. It's on the page. It says that y'all always going through boarding and exploring the Symphony. Part of that was our sail away party, and it's the part where they're playing Danza Perudo and the Wobble, and I think some other stuff. Because of the openness of the ship in the center, they don't have like that one area on Carnival where in front of the where's the Seaside Theater, and they have that big open deck area where they'll remove all the chairs, and that just turns into like a dance floor for your sail away party. Because of the openness of the ship, they don't have that. So people were kind of tucked over in this corner while we were sailing away, doing their little sail away party. And you'll see it in that video. I may repost it in this one as well. But it just didn't have that same effect as like everybody just, with a drink in their hand, doing the wobble, doing the Cupid shuffle, whipping the nay and all that as you sailed off. It's like you don't miss the sail away party on a Carnival cruise. I don't think Jay even knew that they were having it. She was down by the pool with Taylor, and it was, they were playing the music, but you could not realize that it was going on. And like, to me, that never happens on Carnival because they kind of take over the Lido deck of the ship during the sail away party.
I don't know, from my experience, I remember looking up, and that's the only reason why I knew what was going on, because I saw you over there, and I'm like, what are they doing? And so it wasn't like to me a cool sail away party as they were calling it.
And then we didn't find out our cruise director's name, and I don't know if that's our fault or theirs, but we didn't find out our cruise director's name until like the 5th day.
Because we kept asking, like, who is our cruise director?
And just like when we had Jamie, when we had Matt, they made themselves known. Matt used to walk around with a shirt that said "Free Hugs" and stuff like that.
I mean, you saw them all over the TV.
Everywhere you look.
Every time they were making announcements, that's who you heard. I don't know, like you said, maybe it was us.
Yeah, I think it's the person as well, because Matt went out of his way, like. Remember he would say, "When you see me." No, what was the other guy that when we thought Matt was going to be on the ship?
I can't remember his name.
Andrew, Adam?
I think it was Adam.
Yeah, he would say basically, anytime you see me, say hi, Adam. And then you say hi, Adam, and he'd say hi back, and that was kind of his thing.
Yeah.
And then Matt's thing was hi, I said hi, bye, I said bye.
Which is why we had the shirts.
Yeah, the shirts, and he was gone.
And Jamie,
Jamie was the sweetest. So yeah, that was another thing that was kind of
awful.
Yeah. And then the other thing when we got back to the room.
Oh, okay. So they have towel animals as well. My kids' room, my guy put eyeballs on his. Now my guy was a little lazy, so we would come in, we see these towel animals with no eyeballs, and we trying to figure out like what is this thing supposed to be. And it just was kind of like, what my
Yeah,
eyeballs?
we used to eyes. Like, they go above and beyond. They put the eyes on.
What eyeballs on my towel?
Yeah,
I
if
just
you got
felt
like
like
an
Carnival
elephant
puts
or something
more.
like that. And we thought that was just like maybe a cruise-wide thing that they don't do eyeballs, but we would go down to the boys' room sometimes. And their little whatever turtle or whatever they made out of a towel animal had eyeballs. So maybe our guy just
They might not mean anything to you, but it meant something.
Yeah, we need that eyeballs.
I like my towel
Details.
animals.
It's in the details.
I take pictures all of them. So. The question is that everybody keeps asking is, are we converted? My answer is no. I'm not saying I won't cruise with Royal Caribbean because I did like it. I had a really good time. I now know what to expect and how to plan for when we go back on. But I am a Carnival girl by heart. I love everything about it. I'm already excited. We've already booked our next cruise for next year. But Carnival to me is more of a party ship. It's more for younger people. I just think there was always something to do that we enjoy. I don't know. I just felt like I have more fun on my Carnival cruise versus this first experience with Royal Caribbean. I did have a good time. I love the ship. Everything was
love
great.
cruising in general, but I feel like we have better experiences with Carnival. And I don't know if it's just because it's what we're used to, or because it's better. But we'll probably mix. It'll probably be about 25% of the time will be a Royal cruise. So we'll probably go 3 Carnival cruises and then mix in a Royal. Definitely want to do the Spectrum of the Seas when it starts sailing because I'm all for the biggest ship in the world.
Yeah. I will say though, I think Julian's converted. He already told me he's converted. My oldest son, Julian, had an absolute blast. I will say shout out to the teen areas and the kids club area. Had my kids on lockdown. They absolutely loved it. So if there's somebody who feels like, oh my gosh, what's the difference between Carnival and Royal Caribbean with their kids clubs, they're the same. They're both amazing. I will say that I'm very, very, very appreciative to those areas because they kept the kids very entertained.
Yeah, sometimes, and my oldest, sometimes I post it on Instagram. Here's my little man coming down the slide. I have no idea what my oldest child is. I just hope that he's still on the ship. He had a great time, and we would have him when he got back to his room because we didn't give him a curfew. I think the ship had a curfew of like 1 for those under 18. But we didn't give him a curfew, and we just said, hey, before you go to bed, call us to let us know that you're in the room and you're okay. And I mean, 12:37, 1:05, 1:15, I'm in the room. I'm like, goodness gracious. But that's why we took them. They're good kids, and we wanted them to
very responsible.
Yeah, have a great time, and just see some other cultures. That's why we try to take them as often as we can, so they can see. They had a great educational tour in Rotan, Honduras. And, they second time going to Cozumel, so they enjoyed that again, especially with the convertible car we rented. And then we did a horseback ride or a carriage ride through Nassau, Bahamas, and they really enjoyed that. And the guy was pointing out stuff, and they got a kick out of seeing where the new embassy's going to go and how it said U.S. soil, even though we were in Nassau, so they kind of got a
they
kick
really
out
like that.
So I imagine this video is going long.
So okay, we will let you go because we can both talk. So.
Yeah. So click the subscribe button. Look out for future videos.
I'll be doing one soon on having a wedding or destination wedding on Carnival.
Yeah, that was a good one. And then our next cruise, we booked the Horizon, and we got the Havana patio again, and we're going to do a short video on just if you can swing on the Vista class ship, so the Vista, the Horizon, or the Panorama, if you can swing the Havana Cabana, do it. It is worth it. You're going to pay probably 3 times as much as a person with an interior room. It's going to be
absolutely worth it.
It's worth it in every aspect of the word. Click the subscribe button. Look out for those future videos. Thank y'all for following. Make sure you're following on Instagram and Facebook. It's Y'all Always Gone everywhere. So y'all always gone on Facebook. Y'all always gone on Instagram, and you're already on YouTube. Click subscribe, and we'll see y'all in the next video.
Thank you. Bye.